I'm beginning to understand why they say, don't let it bother you, live a happy life. It's Mother's Day. It's really pleasant. It's got that spring feel. Air is clear. There's this kind of smell like spring, and the density, I guess humidity, but there's no humidity. It's the air. It's definitely the smell. You can smell spring. It's Mother's Day. There's some vehicles out there kind of racing, not really racing, but like going back and forth a little bit, not much. But I realized as long as you don't let it bother you, let's just get recorded. Actually, it was this early morning before I went to sleep around 4 a.m. or something. It's the last straw. There was a lot of, there's one motorcycle. I think it was a neighbor across, not here, not in the community, but across the other neighbor. Went from there to there. Really, it was okay, and then zoom. So maybe some kind. Oh, of course, restaurants and stuff. But it was closed at 2, so I don't know what closed at 2. But ironically, there was a ton of cops afterwards here all over there. Not nearby, but kind of like, so, it's ironic. I was complaining where the cops and stuff. But yeah, only a minute ago I was thinking, with that motorcycle, I was thinking, here, don't let it bother you. But another thing I want to know is communication is so important. I went ahead and read my emails because today's Mother's Day. I'm going to call Mom, so I might as well smack on the emails first. And here's my dad. He was kind of panicking because he thought I didn't communicate it. It was around March when he was asking me about electricity. But then he must have saw my emails that I did reply eventually, because I think he wrote immediately the same day, maybe. I think it was. One email said he hadn't heard from me, paraphrasing, and then he must have read my email that he saw instantly from there, and he instantly replied back same day, I think it was. I could look. Well, I can't because I don't want to record my email. Okay, but I'll look in the date. But good to hear from you. I'm paraphrasing, but I think actually one of the sentences he said, "Hi," he said my name or something. Good to hear from you. Or it's been a long or something. And he replied back, telling me about answering my questions. It seemed that Ro went over to his house while he was at the computer. My brother at the computer wrote the answers to the emails. His dad answered the questions. That seems what's implied, but I shot an email back today asking for clarification and some other stuff now. So it's like with my series, my new series I'm doing. I think I'm laughing at the communication thing as solutions, but after today, after hearing having my father reply back, I'm beginning to see, I now understand you gotta experience it. So yeah, it feels more calming when you have communication, and it takes away the stress. Communication is like my Star Trek. Spoils my thing. Star Trek is communicator. That's real loud. I think that's the loudest, most angriest motorcycle rev I've ever heard. It's far away, so it's not as impactful as this, but that's the most angriest ever in my whole existence. Ironic, maybe, because people are watching my videos. About 7 where I put these up. I don't want to use the post where maybe it falls through. That's angriest ever. He went from there. I don't know if this picked it up. I'm gonna replay this, see if it picked it up. That's anger. What time is this? Mother's Day, 2:55, 3 o'clock. Wow. This is usually a time when maybe some deliveries and stuff. Somebody's really angry out there. And with the cops this early morning, people are angry. I guess they think people are angry. They're meeting with their parents. Maybe they're having some heated arguments. Because, Trump and stuff. The inauguration, the whole thing. Wow. That was... But like I said, you don't let it bother you, but wow, it's not bothering them. You can thinking, okay, be okay, you're okay, be okay to them. But my franchise, yeah. So I guess communication does work. Does work. What else did I want to say? I mentioned about the weather. I think it started today. It's kind of spring feeling. This really spring feeling. As much as spring feeling. It's 72 here, and then maybe upstairs 72. I mentioned about my franchise, Dad. Communication. There was a fourth thing. I think communication. Dad saying the hear me, and then calming of communication. The spring weather. There's a fourth thing. What was the fourth thing? Something about communicating. Stress. No stress. Is there a pause in this? There's a pause. Mention about emails. Something else. What other email did I get? Oh, the family tree. Maybe that's it. Yeah, I got the family tree. Ni Young something like Chung, my grandmother's name. Chung. No, it's something else. I'm not gonna say it here, but yeah. So communication is really important. My series, spoilers, giant strawberries. It'd be funny as I go back in time, different categories of change. Butterfly effect, different category of change in the future. For example, if you go back and you change war, you can bring back the Godzillasaurus from millions of years when it sits in the Rodan and the Radons and the Mothras. And then if you stop the rapes, you get different environments: underwater, fire, whatever, snow, gaseous air. And then if you stop, I don't know, political crimes, you get Star Wars back that went extinct millions of years ago. You get the Darth Vaders sprouting everywhere, and they even can come with their lightsabers. That's a play on how some of the figures, they lose their accessories. So there's a fourth thing I wanted to say. What was it? I remember there's four, and two of them were related. I think it must have been about my father email about communication being relaxing. It was a relaxing email for him, knowing that I had communicated back, and then talking about how communication relaxes you. Maybe that's two. Then the thing about the weather, that's three. The fourth thing was what he talking to my mom, communicating. I think the fourth thing was the family tree. Jung. There's lying that Jung means seed. He said that I asked her sexual. This was about 5 or 6 years ago. He said, "What's sexual?" So I emailed him an email today, some clarification. I multiple times, but I do it rewording a little bit, sometimes a little bit, space of time. So I don't know what the fourth thing was. Weather. Gosh, I apologize. There's no pause in this. Food, dreams. What was the notes I had? The vaccines. No. I know all I know is it was when I was going to the bathroom. I was thinking four things. The weather, definitely about the weather. Sprinkles, no sprinkles. Because I take shorter baths. Somehow the sprinkles do return, even though the weather, maybe because the weather stabilized. But if I do my regular long showers, so I don't. Actually, one of the reasons is I don't spit my spit cup. I don't have a spit bag upstairs because I'm running out of the bags, enough for that kind of thing. So if I have water in my mouth, I don't spit out. I did kind of, but then I got it. Shut it. This time, I didn't spit it out. Only a tiny bit, and that's it. I remembered. So I closed it because I realized, the Mother's Day. Then I think maybe it was the sound, the stress, about the stress. The fourth thing must have been about motorcycle sound. No, only when I sat down. I don't remember. I think, okay, let me stop this and then maybe I'll remember now. But anyway, that's it. So the whole message of this is communication is very important. It's very important. I think maybe the fourth was that you don't know until you actually experience it. So all these people, I'm trying to understand what they're saying, why they aren't as smart as me. And maybe because I haven't experienced what they've experienced. There's something else. I was about to say, I remembered something. What was it? Not everyone has a piece of everyone doesn't have all the pieces or something. I had it on the tip of my head and then I completely forgot it. You don't know. Lead is why people are so stupid when they stop drinking the lead. The crime in the 80s or 90s stopped. That wasn't it. Okay. Anyway, communication is so important. So I guess it really can work. It really can work. I'm still gonna call my mom, see if she'll pick up, but if not, it's fine. As long as I send the emails, as long as she knows I did send a happy birthday, happy Mother's Day. So yeah, communication. Communicate with your children. Don't have kids first because of it's the overpop and stuff. It's not a time to. If you're gonna have kids, I would say never. But they're adorable and stuff. If you had to wait until a couple of decades from now, of course, by then you'll have the females will have menopause, but the men can breed basically almost forever. So keep your eggs somewhere. If you're gonna be about 40 by then, keep your eggs somewhere, or get a puppy or something. But yeah, communication really does work. Communication really does work. Wow, that's wrong. Now I think I remember what it was. Interesting. Yeah, if you need to remember something, go back to where you were. Of course, I'm not in the bathroom, but it's only remembering because the sense of the weather. That's something. I think it was the weather. The weather is it might be the weather. That is why I'm feeling so stress-free too. So I don't know. It must have some kind of effect. Everything had an effect. So maybe a little bit of it is because the weather is so pleasant now. So I'm feeling so stressed. But no, it's not the only thing I know, because it wasn't until I read his emails and I got what I wanted. And he's actually really communicating in. I think it was the family tree. When you actually gave me the family tree, it doesn't have everyone's name, but it's got, and simply that it's in a spreadsheet. I think somehow it's more communication than I expected. So yeah, it definitely worked. So I think that was it. That was the fourth note was to add that it might be a placebo effect because of the weather, but it has a little bit of an effect. Not placebo because it's real though. But yeah, I think that was it. Okay, that's it.